Yeah, 2x plus 4x is 6x. So 2 square root of 3 plus 4 square root of 3. 2 of these plus 4 of these makes 6 of these. You guys know what 6 square root of 3 means? It means 6 times square root of 3, which means 6 square root of 3's. So why don't we actually multiply it together though? The reason is because square root of 3 is an infinite, very messy decimal. It's called an irrational number. So instead of like multiplying it together, getting a messy decimal and rounding it off, we're going to leave it exactly correct and just leave it like this.
So if you did
This is simplified form. We don't want the decimal right now. Occasionally you do want a decimal, but generally we don't want the decimal. We're just going to leave it like that. And if you have nice calculators, they can handle this. The problems your calculators cannot handle are cubed roots, fourth roots. So, but if it's a square root, and you have nice calculator, the calculator can do it.
So like, for example, I guess if you did 3 square root of 2 minus 5 square root of 2.
Okay, 3 squared, is this a problem with the homework?
Yeah. I have an actual question.
Yeah.
So if it was 6, square root of like 16, I guess, that would be like 464.
This is just 6 times 4.
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
So that'd
if
be
it'd
like
just
24.
Alright.
I don't think they'll try to trick us like that.
No, it makes sense, because I thought I was trying to figure out like if
I
it.
think the square root of 16 is 4.
He said,
So
Six times
it,
four.
yeah, he said 6
That's what I
squared.
was wondering.
Yeah,
about
this
a
is
little
just
bit.
6 times 4.
So if it is a number that can square
Very
root, you
tiny.
do square root of before.
Yeah,
if not, then you don't.
I doubt they're going to do that to us, but I mean, it could happen. Who knows?
Was that a good question? Or
Sure.
is it
Yeah,
like
that's good. That's a good question.
I just can't.
So like back to mine now. Like
Okay, number 1. Square root of 9 plus square root of 16. Okay, now these square roots don't add together. They're not the same. I probably should have asked one of those. What's 2 square root of 3 plus, let's say, 5 square root of 7? Okay, these do not mix. It's like saying what's 2x plus 5y.
yeah.
There's not really a way to simplify this. We could put it all together if we change it to messy decimals, but we're not doing the messy decimal thing. So if it's just like this, we're just going to leave it alone. Okay, that will happen occasionally. Okay, but number 1 says square root of 9 plus square root of 16. What's the square root of 9?
3.
What's the square root of 16?
7.
Okay, so if they actually add together, if they actually simplify, you can go ahead and do it.
What's the square root?
So on 3, you do 9 plus 16 first. It's kind of like if it's in the square root, you're supposed to do that first and then square root it. So what's 9 plus 16?
25.
So what's the square root of 25? So notice that's different than number 1, even though they look kind of similar. On number 1, you square root individually and then add them. Number 3, you add them first and then square root them. Gives you a different answer.
These are kind of fun. I never thought I'd say that.
Fun, fun, fun. Okay, number 5, multiple choice. So it says on number 5 it says if A is greater than 0 and B is greater than 0. What do we know about A and B if they're both greater than 0? What does that tell us about A and B? They're positive. Okay, so they're saying if A and B are positive, which of these is bigger? Is it equal? Okay, so kind of, I don't know if you guys can tell, what they're doing is referring back to kind of 1 and 3. So if we square root them individually and then add them like we did on number 1, or if we add them together first and then square root them like we did on number 3, which one comes out bigger? Yeah, the number 1 version. So this one is going to be bigger than this one. It's kind of a weird question. Yeah, okay, which option was that? A.
We're at that. I don't know
Oh, fennel sex.
We're not down there yet.
I am.
What?
Huh?
Okay,
What?
Number 7, square root of 3 plus square root of 6. Okay, I should probably read the directions. It says simplify if possible, otherwise state not possible. On number 7, does square root of 3 plus square root of 6 simplify? No. So they want us to put not possible. It's not possible to write that any simpler.
Can you help with 8?
Yeah.
What's the cube? Square root.
Cube roots,
I think that's the only one with the
cube roots and square roots do not mix, no.
So not possible.
Actually, 7 and 8 are the only not possibles on the whole page. So
Can we just like give her games all the answers, right?
just go ahead and write it. Let's not be that lazy.
Well, 14 has
If
a.
you want to give us all the answers.
He's calling you guys
Is 14 has a square root, so is that possible? Or is it because there's 3 of them?
It doesn't. It simplifies some because the square roots simplify, but the cube roots does not simplify. Okay, yeah, I lost my place. Minus 6 squared root of 5. Okay, do these mix?
Yeah.
Yes. So we have 2 of them plus 1 of them. It's a kind of an invisible 1 right there, right? 2 of them plus 1 of them makes 3 squared root of 5 minus 6 squared root of 5. So basically the problem we're doing, guys, is this. 2x plus x minus 6x. So we got 2 plus 1 is 3, minus 6, negative 3 square root of 5.
Mine, well, yeah, that's fine.
And you want that answer, right?
Yeah.
On there.
I thought that if it was possible, you just write possible. I thought that you gave us only an answer. Kind of realized.
7 and 8 are the only 2 not possible. Now they don't all completely simplify. Some of them only partially simplify. We're getting to here in a second.
So for this one, you would.
Now, on the face, it doesn't look like any of these go together, right? But guess what? All of these square roots can simplify. Okay, this is where having a nice calculator can come in handy, but since it's an odd and I'm doing it, I'll go ahead and break it down really fast. This breaks down to 3 square root of 5. This breaks down to 2 square root of 3. So this one, the 3 and the 2 come out, so 3 times 2 is 6 square root of 5.
So 9 square root of 5 minus 3.
So, yeah, are all these like terms?
No.
No. Only these 2 guys, right?
So you have to multiply them all to be able to.
No, we're not multiplying, these are add and subtract
Like
problems.
terms.
Yeah, we can only add the like terms, so what's 3 square root of 5 plus 6 square root of 5? 9 square root of 5. And then what am I going to do with this other guy?
Bring it over.
Just write it and copy it down.
I thought you would multiply them all.
This is not a multiply problem. We're adding and subtracting today, not multiplying.
Oh.
Actually, now that I say that, I wonder if there are any multiplies. No, I don't. Well,
I'm
not
gonna
really.
do that tomorrow. Multiply by.
Yeah, probably tomorrow's
Yeah, there's
multiply.
no multiplication.
Well, mostly these are add and subtract, basically. Now, when we're on the square root problems, the calculator definitely helps. So when we get to section B, the calculator doesn't help as much. Okay. Well, these all look different, but guess what? Square root of 8 simplifies. Okay, it's square root of 8 is 2 square root of 2. But what do I do with that 6 out in front? Yeah, it's 6 times this, right? So what's 6 times 2 square root of 2? 12 square root of 2. And then, of course, the square root of 2 in the middle is too simple to do anything. 32 is 4 square root of 2. So what's 3 times 4 square root of 2? That's would be 12 square root of 2. You guys see it? Do you know what it'd be?
Zero.
One. Zero, two.
Yeah. These two guys kind of take care of each other, so it's just square root of 2. If you put 1 square root of 2, I would not count it wrong, but
Wait, question.
that's not.
So for the last one, how it says minus 12 square root of 2, why did you do that instead of, why did you do 3 times 2, or 2 times 4 instead of 3 times 2? Oh, that's what it was, okay.
So your calculator can handle this.
Yeah.
It's just later on, but it's kind of important to understand how I'm getting it because when we do cube roots later, you kind of have to know what's going on. All right, 15. What's the square root of negative 25? 5i. Yeah. Yeah, not only the y calculator. I think I lost all my y calculators after the testing.
Or they were taken.
Well, yeah, somehow they're gone. What's the square root of negative 49?
Negative 7, or 7i.
7i. Okay, so what is 5i minus 7i?
Negative two.
Negative 2i.
Where did you get the white calculators?
Walmart.
Probably like Walmart or Staples or
There's
something.
$30 at Walmart.
I think last time I went to Walmart, I didn't see any white ones.
I
So
saw some over Christmas break, and they were like 25 to 30.
maybe they were just sold out or something. Well, the white ones I got were like $18. Or maybe $20.
I saw these ones. These were like $20, and then the other ones were like 25.
Well, maybe the prices went up then.
Yeah.
I think mine was like $11.
Can you do this?
Mine was like 11 or 12.
Yeah, I didn't pay $20 for the black ones. I probably paid $12. Okay, 17. Negative 20 plus negative 40. Okay, well, here's how you do make them work. If you just take the negative out and plug it in without the negative, but then you have to put I back in your answer. Does that make sense? Like you don't have to. So on the 20, it's 2 square root of 5, but since it's a negative, it's I. And remember we put the I between the number and the radical. And then 45, I feel like I did this one already. Did we do 45 on a problem up here? Yeah, right there. It's 3 square root of 5, but it's an imaginary on this one, so it's 3i squared of 5. Okay, do these two things mix?
Yes.
Yes, they do. They're both I squared of 5. So what's 2 of them plus 3 of them? 5 of them. So 5i squared of 5. Did you get it, Jasmine? All right.
Weakness, please.
2, negative 28, 3, negative 112. Ugh, this looks kind of like a lot of work. Well, the 112. Somebody, what's the square root of 1? 5 squared of 7. Well, no, what's the 112 turned into? That's what I was. So this one is 2 squared of 7 times 2, so that'd be 4 squared of 7, or 4i squared of 7. This one is what I was wondering about. It's 4 squared of 7 by itself. So there's a 3 on the front, so 3 times 4 squared of 7 is 12. And I'm just taking the negative out as an I, so there's i's in the answer. So we have 4 of them plus 12 of them make 16 of them. Can your calculator do imaginary? No.
Okay.
This one
Four.
or this one?
Yeah. Did you?
It was 2 squared of 7 from this
Mhm.
times 2.
So if it's two of the same numbers, do you just cancel one out?
It comes out, yeah. Your calculator can do this.
Yeah, I just wanted to know how to do it.
But yeah, if it's a square root, a double comes out. If it's a cubed root, which we're gonna have to do later, a triple comes out.
I don't know.
That's the ones the calculator can't do, or a fourth root or fifth root or whatever.
Aren't there some calculators that you can put, like,
Simplify square root of 5x minus square root of 125x. Well, it looks like they don't go together, but guess what? Which of those actually simplifies, do you think?
the right?
Yeah, 125. Do you guys remember 125 from yesterday? 5 times 5 times 5. So yeah. Now, what do I do with the x? Nothing, yeah, just leave it alone. So the first term, it just stays square root of 5x. The second term is 5 square root of 5x. So are these like terms? Can they go together? Yeah, we basically have one of these minus 5 of the same things. So it's negative 4 of them. Okay, now you can't just plug this in the calculator, but can the calculator help? Yeah, if you plug in square root of 125, the calculator gives you 5 square root of 5. You just have to know that the x is still in there. You didn't really touch the x. Alright. Darn it. The evens are a little bit trickier than the odds.
Did we talk about?
I was thinking maybe just 22. Alright, let's go ahead and talk about 22. This is, you have to remember Tuesday's assignment to do 22. You guys remember Tuesday? We'll find out here in a second.
I didn't like Tuesdays.
Okay, so square root of 48 is 4 square root of 3. Okay, but here's the question. This goes back to Tuesday. How do I do the square root of y to the third? You guys remember Tuesday?
Oh, you have to do 3 of it.
Invisible 2 here. 3 divided by 2.
Third. Or like
No, we're not
one
doing
remainder,
fractions. That
one
was yesterday.
remainder.
Yeah, it's the 1 remainder 1. 1 times 2 is 2. Remainder 1. So that means 1y comes out and 1's left behind. This is Tuesday's sign, the one I just gave you guys back.
Could you do this in the calculator?
No, well, the calculator can't do the letters.
Or?
It can do the square root of 48 part. It give you the 4 square root of 3. And it can do square root of 147. Okay, 147 is like 3 times 49. It's 7 square root of 3. So the 7 comes out with this y, but the 3 is left behind with this y. Are these like terms? Yeah, all this stuff has to be the same. Like it has to be y squared of 3y and y squared of 3y. If all that stuff is the same, yes, you can combine them. So we have 4 of those minus 7 of those makes negative 3 of those. What'd you say, you did or did?
I do.
So it's the letter part that was tricking you on Tuesday, right? You just gotta remember, you have to do 3 divided by 2, and what to do with that information. So the 1, the first number tells you what comes out, the second number tells you what's left inside. Alright, now back to 23. Back to the odds.
Could you do 24?
Now. 32x squared minus x squared 2 I think we did 32 once already on this assignment, square root of 32. And it came out, I did square root of 32 on a previous odd. It came out as 4 square root of 2, so I'm gonna cheat a little bit there. What's the square root of x squared? Or what's 2 divided by 2? 1. So 1 comes out and no remainder. So, yeah.
Oh, is that what you do? Oh, I get it.
No, on 24 is more like 22 because you have to do 3 divided by 2 on that first one.
Yeah, so would you put an A on the outside and the inside?
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright. And then this middle term is there's too small, too simple to do anything with. 18 is 3 square root of 2. But also, what about the x's? So what's square root of it? Same thing as over here, right? Square root of x squared is just an x. So a normal x comes out. Are all of these like terms or just some of them? They're all of them. All of them are x squared of 2, x squared of 2, x squared of 2. So I have 4 of them minus 1 of them. That's 3. Plus 3 of them.
6x squared.
Not too bad, is it? Not too painful.
No, it's not bad at all.
Yeah, 15 minutes left.